to the next point. We should ensure whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Good day, my wonderful students, listeners, and viewers at home. You are welcome to today's e-learning telecast. As you are aware, this telecast is being sponsored by Kaduna State Government. I'm so excited to be here again today. I'm sure you have been learning a lot through this e-learning telecast. My name is Mr. Charles Duni Ananat, and I remain your civic education teacher. Our topic for today is nationalism. Nationalism, and by the grace of God, we'll be doing a continuation of this topic. And under today's topic, we have the following subtopics. 1, benefits of nationalism. 2, Nigerian nationalists. 3, biography of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. 4, nationalistic roles of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. And lastly, you have your assignment. Now, before I continue with today's lessons, I would like to do a recap or a highlight of what we did in the very first part of this topic, nationalism. Remember, we defined nationalism as a desire or a struggle for independence, for sovereignty. We also defined nationalism as a feeling of patriotism in which citizens resist colonial rule or domination. Now, we also looked at the nationalistic roles of citizens. That is, as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there are certain roles that you are supposed to play as a patriotic citizen of this great nation. 1, we mentioned the issue of payment of taxes as at when due. Every Nigerian citizen is supposed to pay taxes. Don't forget, it is these taxes that the government use to provide us with good and social amenities like good roads, schools, hospitals, etc. Number 2, we also looked at the issue of protection of government properties. As a citizen of this country, when you see someone vandalizing or destroying government properties, you don't keep quiet. No, you report to the appropriate authorities. Number 3, we also looked at respect for government officials, national symbols like the national anthem and the national pledge. That is why whenever they are singing the national anthem, you are supposed to stand at attention. You don't move. It is a sign of you being a patriotic citizen. We also looked at the issue of respect of constituted authorities. That is, as a citizen, you should respect government rules and regulation. We also looked at the issue of participation in governance. That is, as a Nigerian, if you have attained the age of 18 years, you are qualified to register as a voter. You should go and register as a voter, not just registering as a voter, but also going out on the day of elections to also vote. Then Nigerians are also encouraged to avail themselves for leadership positions. Now, we also looked at nationalistic political development. That is, we look at the impact of nationalistic activities to Nigerian political development. We said, 1, it brought about what? About selflessness in Nigerians. Nigerians became more patriotic. Nigerians began to have more love for these great nations. Nigerians began to understand that it is not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. We also look at the issue of establishment of schools, universities, what we call premier universities, like Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, the likes of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and the likes of Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife. These are some of the developments that nationalistic movements brought to Nigeria. We also look at the issue of the establishment of newspapers, Example is the West African pilot that was established by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. This newspaper was able to talk against colonial oppression and domination. By the grace of God today, we shall be looking at the benefits or the result of nationalism. What has nationalism done to us as Nigerians? Number one, nationalism and nationalistic movements benefited Nigerians in the following ways. One, it brought about political independence, which gave pride and dignity to Nigerians as a people. So it simply means that Nigerians became aware of independence, and not just being aware of independence, but they were able to put up a fight. And at the end of the day, Nigeria became an independent nation on the 1st of October, 1960. Two, political education was received by many Nigerians from the writings, speeches, and other activities of the nationalist movement. That is, Nigerians became aware. Nigerians became sensitized in regards to issues of independence because of the writings and the speeches of this great nationalist that struggled for the independence of this great nation. Three, nationalism prepared Nigerians for political leadership. The nationalist leaders took over government at independence and managed the work of government with a lot of efficiency and ability. It was very easy for Nigeria to enjoy a smooth transition from being a colony to an independent nation. Why? Because of the activities of this great nationalist. They struggled and fought for independence. They were involved even in colonial governance. And so when Nigeria became an independent nation, it was easy for them to govern and lead this nation without any struggle. Next, nationalism brought several constitutional and economic benefits which helped to prepare the Nigerian people for independence. Examples are the introduction of elected Nigerian members into the Legislative Council of 1922, the setting up of a university and several colleges of technology from 1948, and the introduction of modern local government system in the eastern and western region of Nigeria from 1948. So this is also one of the benefits that we enjoyed as Nigerians as a result of nationalistic movements. Nigeria began to experience development in various sectors, like the educational sector, and even the introduction of the local government system we are now practicing. My dear students, we shall be looking at Nigerian nationalists. We'll be looking at great men who struggled and fought for the independence of this nation. I don't know about you, but I am proud to be a Nigerian. I remember that part of the national anthem that says, "The labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain." Nigeria is existing today as a nation because of the sacrifice, patriotism, and determination of our founding fathers. Though they are no more, but their legacies and roles they played to ensure Nigeria became an independent nation will not be forgotten quickly. Don't forget that these are men that sacrificed. Some even laid their lives. Some lost their lives in the course of the struggle for independence. And we shall be looking at some of these great men. Number one, we have Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Number two, we have Alhaji Sir Amadu Bello. Number three, we have Chief Jeremiah Obafemi Awolowo. Number four, we have Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who was also referred to as the golden voice of Africa. He was a wonderful and good orator. He was also the first and only prime minister this country ever had. Number five, we have Sir Herbert Macaulay. Number six, we have Alhaji Aminu Kanu. Number seven, we have H.O. Davis. Number eight, we have Chief Anthony Enahoro. And lastly, we have Chief S.L. Akintola. My dear students, we shall be looking at the biography of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was usually referred to as Zik of Africa. He was one of the leading figures of modern Nigeria nationalism. He was born on November 16, 1904 in Zungeru, northern Nigeria. Zungeru is located in Niger State. His parents named him Benjamin, but he later changed it to Nnamdi. He attended school in Onitsha, Lagos, and Calabar. He was fluent in the three major Nigerian languages, which is Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, a major asset for the future Nigerian nationalist. In 1925, he went to the United States and studied political science at Howard and Lincoln universities. He worked at a wide range of mostly lowly jobs and was frequently a victim of racial discrimination. His American experience was certainly a source of his Pan-African patriotism. Between 1932 and 1934, Azikiwe taught political science at Lincoln University. So this is the biography of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was born in Zungeru in Niger State, and he was one of the founding fathers of this great nation called Nigeria. That is, he was at the forefront in regards to struggle for independence of Nigeria. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe schooled in America. He studied political science at Howard and Lincoln universities. Now, while in America, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe had to do menial jobs. And in that process, he was discriminated. You can imagine the whites calling him black monkey, and so on and so forth. And that was what stirred up this nationalistic spirit in him, that this has to come to an end. And by the grace of God, when you are talking of Nigerian nationalism, you must mention Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. In fact, some regard him as the father of Nigerian nationalism. Now we shall be looking at the nationalistic roles of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. That is his contributions to Nigeria's nationalism. Number one, he mobilized Nigerians to oppose oppressive colonial policies. He mobilized Nigerians to oppose oppressive colonial policies. Nigerians became aware of the oppression that they were suffering in the hands of the colonial masters. Nigerians were treated as slaves in their own nations. That is, they were not involved when it comes to the issue of governance. They were more like second-class citizens. Nnamdi Azikiwe was able to create an awareness. He was able to create a movement that Nigerians should stand and fight for their rights. Next, he established newspaper in pre-independence Nigeria known as the West African Pilot in 1937, which became a fire-eating and aggressive nationalist paper of the highest order. That is, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was able to use the power of the pen and the paper to fight against colonialism. The West African Pilot was the very first newspaper that was established in Nigeria. And with this, he was able to write a lot of articles in regards to the oppression and domination of the colonial government in Nigeria. Next, he founded the African Continental Bank in 1944. It also means that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe also contributed to the development of the Nigerian economy by establishing a bank. Next, he was actively involved in the formation of the Organization of Africa Unity, known as OAU, now known as African Union, AU, alongside other African nationalists like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, etc. It means that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe also believed in the unity of Africa, not just Nigeria. And so alongside with other African nationalists like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, and Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, they were able to come together and share the vision of the establishment of the Organization of African Unity, whose headquarters is located in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Next, he was the first indigenous governor general and president of Nigeria. When Nigeria gained independence on 1st October 1960, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the governor general. But on 1st October 1963, Nigeria became a republic, and so he became the first president of Nigeria. Next, he was a member of the Nigerian Legislature Council from 1947 to 1951, a member of the Western House of Assembly from 1952 to 1953, Premier of the Eastern Region from 1954 to 1959, and President of the Nigerian Senate from 1959 to 1960. So you can see that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was involved in governance. We can see that he held a lot of key political positions because of his love for Nigeria as a country. He participated and contributed immensely to ensure that Nigeria became an independent nation. Next, he played the single most vigorous role in Nigeria's march towards independence in 1960. Like I said, most people refer to him as the founding father of Nigerian nationalism because he was at the forefront when it came to the struggle for Nigeria's independence. Next, he contributed to educational development in Nigeria. He expanded education facilities in Nigeria and laid the foundation of University of Nigeria at Nsukka, formally opened in September 1960. So we can also see that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe also contributed to educational development in Nigeria. He laid the foundation of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which is one of the premier universities in Nigeria, in September 1960. He was one of the founding fathers of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, NCNC, alongside Sir Herbert Macaulay. Don't forget that he was the secretary of this political party, but along the line, Herbert Macaulay died, and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe took over as the president of this political party. Next, his nationalistic activities in Nigeria served as inspiration for other colonial nationalists. It means that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe became a role model. He became a mentor to young Nigerians. He participated actively in pre-independence constitutional conferences. That is, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was in the forefront when it came to the struggle for Nigeria's independence. He participated in virtually all the conferences that finally led to Nigeria's independence on the 1st of October 1960. He died on May 11, 1996, at the age of 92, following a long illness. His portrait is captured on the 500 naira note as a mark of honor. Wow, what a great man. What a great man. What a patriotic Nigerian. We can see that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe went all the way to ensure that Nigeria became an independent nation. My dear students, I hope that you'll be proud of your country, Nigeria. I hope that you will believe in the vision of Nigeria. I hope that the labor of our heroes past will never be in vain. My dear students, before we end today's lesson, we will do a recap of what we learned today. We looked at results of nationalism. We said nationalism and nationalistic movements benefited Nigerians in the following ways. A, it brought about political independence, which gave pride and dignity to Nigerians as a people. 2, political education was received by many Nigerians from the writings, speeches, and other activities of the nationalist movement. Number 3, nationalism prepared Nigerians for political leadership. The nationalist leaders took over government at independence and managed the work of government with a lot of efficiency and ability. Number 4, nationalism brought several constitutional and economic benefits which helped to prepare the Nigerian people for independence. Examples are the introduction of elected Nigerian members into the Legislative Council of 1922, the setting up of a university and several colleges of technology from 1948, and the introduction of modern local government system in the eastern and western region of Nigeria from 1948. Nigerian nationalists. Nigeria is existing today as a nation because of the sacrifice, patriotism, and determination of our founding fathers. Though they are no more, but their legacies and roles they played to ensure Nigeria became an independent nation will not be forgotten quickly. The following are great Nigerian nationalists. 1, we have Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. 2, Alhaji Sir Ahmadu Bello. 3, Chief Jeremiah Obafemi Awolowo. 4, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. 5, Sir Herbert Macaulay. 6, Alhaji Aminu Kano. 7, H.O. Davis. 8, Chief Anthony Enahoro. And lastly, Chief S.L. Akintola. Biography of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was usually referred to as Zik of Africa. He was one of the leading figures of modern Nigerian nationalism. He was born on November 16, 1904 in Zungeru, northern Nigeria. His parents named him Benjamin, but he later changed it to Nnamdi. He attended school in Onitsha, Lagos, and Calabar. He was fluent in the 3 major Nigerian languages, which is Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, a major asset for the future Nigerian nationalist. In 1925, he went to the United States and studied political science at Howard and Lincoln universities. He worked at a wide range of mostly lowly jobs and was frequently a victim of racial discrimination. His American experience was certainly a source of his Pan-African patriotism between 1932 and 1934. Azikiwe taught political science at Lincoln University. Nationalistic roles of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. 1, he mobilized Nigerians to oppose oppressive colonial policies. 2, he established newspaper in pre-independence Nigeria known as the West African Pilot in 1937, which became a fire-eating and aggressive nationalistic paper of the highest order. Number 3, he founded the African Continental Bank in 1944. Next, he was actively involved in the formation of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now known as African Union, AU, alongside other African nationalists like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, etc. He was the first indigenous Governor General and President of Nigeria. My dear students, I will leave you with your assignment for the day. 1, mention 3 ways in which nationalistic movements benefited Nigerians. Mention 3 ways in which nationalistic movements benefited Nigerians. Number 2, mention 5 Nigerian nationalists that contributed to Nigeria's independence in 1960. Mention 5 Nigerian nationalists that contributed to Nigeria's independence in 1960. Number 3, enumerate 5 nationalistic roles of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Enumerate 5 nationalistic roles of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Your reference, number 1, Civic Education for Senior Secondary Schools and Colleges by J.B. Saleh, Dr. O. Ademola, P.A. Dunlop. Number 2, Civic Education for Senior Secondary Schools and Colleges based on the NERDC curriculum by C.I. Unwaeze, V.E. Ogbe, Y.S. Bashir, et al. My name is Charles Dunia Nanat. You can contact me through this number on the screen with your questions, through SMS or through WhatsApp. The number is 070-6312-6878. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. And remember, be a patriotic Nigerian. God bless you. I'll see you next time.